And Cheryl as well. I'm very honored to be here this evening to celebrate National Poetry Month. There wasn't really a lot of events for national poetry that were specific to National Poetry Month, but it's great to have this event and to have so many wonderful performers and people who just really love poetry being here this evening. I don't know if this is the best National Poetry Month ever, but this has been the best National Poetry Month ever in my life, so yay! It actually started in March the 22nd, and I'll end off on the poem that I read, the March the 22nd story, but we'll start off with one that was featured by the League of Canadian Poets on their blog on April the 6th and 7th, and this is a poem about what it was like to be a journalist and to be a organizer of poetry events, and then to lead to all these wonderful things and getting to be friends with people like Anna and to be able to perform my own poetry and just to have all these great experiences. This is When My Worlds Collide. My world was always meant to come together, to have flow, unity, and coherence. Even as a little boy, I lived in many worlds. Problems would arise when they would collide, especially when I forced them to. Now I live in that flow, embrace my reality, the uniqueness of who I am. I accept the differences of all the worlds in which I walk. I love each one of them individually, as well as part of a collective blessing. Now when my worlds collide, there is no confusion, no fear, no resentment. And I am free to be myself, not the guy I am within any crowd. Now I can try to help make the world the kind of place I have always wanted to live in, now that my life has begun. Thank you. That was actually a companion piece to one that I wrote last September that's a whole lot less positive, so much happier reading the good one. Daryl Salich, who's actually here in Mississauga, is the proprietor of the Toronto Quarterly. And he indirectly led me into being involved in internet journalism by getting me to do a review of the Toronto Quarterly too. And then he published, he was the first person to ever publish one of my poems in the Toronto Quarterly 4, and then he promoted this poem on his blog on April the 14th, also in honor of National Poetry Month, and this is Me With You. All day climbing the corporate ladder, up all night treating the pain, sleeping late on alternate Saturdays, wondering why it is all in vain. The blanket seems longer than it really is, without a second set of legs, another body to pull it out of the covers, from under the mattress, to soak it in hot, cold sweat. Filling myself with emptiness, the things men do to define themselves, to get set apart by acting the same, when all I need is to be me with you. With you, it's always like a dream, the rest a nightmare I must wake up from. I will have the reality for which I yearn, until then both ends of the candle will burn. Everybody, I'm going to end off on a more positive poem. Tyndale College, on the Bible College in Toronto. I read this poem there on March the 22nd, and then they subsequently published it in a special limited edition and anthology, which is only available at the library, so I may never actually own a copy of it myself, but I know I'm in it, so I'm tremendously blessed by that, and thank you. It's a religious inspirational poem. I've had a lot of poems published, and I have a book coming out next month from Lyrical Miracle Press called Scarborough Songs. It's great to see all these people coming from Scarborough and Brampton and all over Ontario, Cheltenham, all over Ontario to celebrate National Poetry Month. And I read this poem at Tyndale College on March the 22nd, and this is All There Is Everything. Beautiful vision, born of barren earth. Can't really sense how we don't understand until seasons in time when we're not blind, won't see all you said all along is true. I await you, for in faith you will come, when I'm made ready, not before your time. I empty myself to make room for you, feel my heart soar as it follows the way. Learn the fear and impure, imperfect love of torment and bitterness all alone. transformed by the fire which fell like a dove, never to leave us to be on our own. Moved by the force that started it all, led by mighty enrapturing spirit, refreshed, I take up the journey anew. Wherever it leads, I'm ready to follow. I now know what I thought what was wrong. No matter the times, I'm not on my own. Own to my weakness, I'm made ever strong. For inside your arms, I am never alone. Ours is not to question the reason why, yet always embrace all which we receive. Give thanks and give praise, to serve and to share, all we are given without hesitation. Please grant us the blessing to be aware, forever we shall hear your sweet, wondrous voice, amidst turmoil and noise from all around, that we may be founded upon the right choice. Thank you, everybody.